Hello guys, this is Avcoor and I'm on GameKey. This is the Asian site for Archeland, and since they play this game differently from us, this is the only game that some people may come to global, some may not, but they're actually playing PvP more intensely than we in America and around the world because the game was actually introduced first there. So their view on PvP is a little different than ours. And because they invested more into these heroes and put more money into it, they spent way more money than us. I want to look at how they view it. So this is the original PvP list that they had. This is where everything stood. Notice that Clefairy is really high, and she will stay there for most of this duration. Um, they actually make a lot of comparisons to the other Zlong game that has a high Asian influence. So when you see like enhanced version of Lei Ying Feng, they're talking about those characters from that game, which is almost very similar. This is like the European version of that game. So once again, like in version 1.2, Clefairy is still really high. And you actually see Catch extremely high along with Richard. Notice that Richard, Catch, uh, Erica, Charlotte, and Simi are really high. For some reason, they have Charlotte back here. I don't agree with that. Like Charlotte is actually really low, and then you get to version 1.3, and Charlotte actually climbs to T0. I guess they're figuring out the game now. So you see Clefairy, Catherine. This is we're gonna keep our eye on Catherine. We're gonna keep our eye on her, and Susie is Susan. And you see that Charlotte is T0, and Gabriel is actually T.5, which is kind of where I would have her anyway. Susan I would have here. Uh, for some reason, they put Catherine really high, but she's a mage, so she's really squishy. So I'm shocked that they even have her here. But maybe they're playing her at level 9, at rank 9, and then we're only playing her like at 4 or 5. So that's my general understanding of it. But I don't know why she's this high. I think because of the dark core that I was talking about. I keep talking about it, but it seems to be very consistent here. As you'll see in the final one, that this is still the same. Simi's actually T1. Richard's actually T1. I'm not quite sure why he would be T1. He should be up here or up there, in my opinion. And once again, Atum is here. And Atum is actually ranked pretty decently. Um, until we get here where he just drops to T2. And here he's actually T2 again. So that's weird. And she was up here, but she drops. Lena's low, Sighart's low. All these characters are super low. That shocks me. And Valak being this low, that shocks me. And Catch dropping this low shocks me. But this is uh, the 1.4 version, and this is the next version. So this is the 2002, 2003, 311. So this is really recent. So it's weird to me. Catherine seems to be a very OP unit. The first season of Knight's Conference PvP is over. The PvP appearance rate, winning rate, rhythm is listed up. Is updated, and the popularity of heavy armor and solid head damage has led to some lineup restraint chains and blind box PvP. But Catherine and Firebow still have stable damage and high fault tolerance, topping the list. Okay, so they saying she's good. The top five in the ranking, except all pure Firebow lineups. Really, which shows its power. So Firebow is a strategy that they're using. I'm thinking. I hope next season there will be a play method other than solid injuries. or a more obvious chain of restraint. So looks like Richard is back to T.5, and so is Catch. So Clefairy has dropped, and Charlotte is still up there, but I assume that they're using more AOE. I just think that this is the AOE meta because this is AOE. She actually carries an AOE. She does AOE. She does AOE. He does line AOE. She has AOE. She actually just act again. She has AOE. He has AOE. She has AOE. This is AOE. She actually does single target. Look how low these characters are. All these characters are super low. So maybe we're looking at it differently. Because I actually ranked her really low. So I'm probably wrong on some level because these guys play PvP seriously. More so than I do. And I don't even have this character. So I have to really reevaluate things. Because I can understand why Catherine's here. I think Charlotte should be higher. But the way it's looking like, AoE is going to be dominant. So we're already seeing that because if you played Langresser or if you played the Chinese game that they have that zlonggames made that never really made it outside of China, it kind of works like this. Asia basically almost dictates how we play because these guys are actually figuring out the game before us since they play before us. And so they look at it differently from us. Asian players play a very hyper aggressive game. If you look at Landgresser as it is now, it's just basically rush AoE meta. And we're already seeing them move towards that to AoE meta. So that's what it's looking like to me because there's something these guys have in common, and it's not single target. She's not a single target unit. She can do both. AoE, she's almost pure AoE. She's almost pure AoE. He can do both, but he has AoE. She has AoE. He has AoE. And once again, you're seeing that dark core I keep talking about. One, two, three. So you're seeing the dark core here, where there's not many holy characters in the roster. Like you got one here, and you got one here, and you got one here, and they're not even the most popular characters to use. And you have Kabir down here, so Kabir is still being used even over all these characters. So that's let me know that the dark core is here to stay. Let's look at Peacock. Peacock is actually ahead of Zighart. So Peacock is actually ahead of all these guys, and we rate Peacock so low. But the way the agency, I guess, fulfilling this three dark leadership skill is so important that and Peacock actually puts out status effects, and he puts out status effects too. So that's let me know that the dark meta's here. Yeah, that's what's letting me know. So let's look at a few comments that what people said, and then we'll end it. Once on a candle, Asian people and the names they come up with, it's interesting. There are many ways to sort people PvP a lot, but there are many current track characters who waste the efficiency of scoring and limited resources. For example, I'm very excited for to pull fire and milk. I don't know what that means. Or solid injury teams. That I think that means debuff. Yeah, that means debuff. Catherine. Oh, so they're actually talking about Catherine. So Catherine's okay. So this is what they're saying. Catherine's like, so from what they're telling me, these two are true gods in the current version. Firebolt has the highest output formation in game present. As long as he enters the battle, he already has an advantage and does not require too high. So you don't need too many ranks. Catherine doesn't even explain a hexagonify who only needs renders heaps of damage, a hero that no one in the master game does not have. Richard, this is weird to understand. Ice, Bearbow, Cicada, Atum. basically it appear to be in team's flaws because there is no solution to fix damage. Oh, so this is what we're looking at: fixed damage, because she does fixed damage, and she does, yeah. So she's doing fixed damage, and she's doing AOE plus debuffs, and she provides mobs. Yeah, so that's what it's looking like, and she actually puts slow. He actually puts studs, so they're looking at debuffs, and I figured that's where it was going. T and Richard have their own advantages and disadvantages. I don't know what you have to discuss about dark characters. Just look at the world next door and you'll know that most characters are eaten by light. Catherine, are you playing? Oh, they're talking about the Chinese game. Above is the feeling of playing a pure dark system with arms. So I was right. Yeah, I was right. We're getting a dark meta. We're getting a dark meta. Yeah. And last one. And for every 10 points of skill, the crit rate is plus 10%. So yeah, we're looking at a dark meta. So my PvP tier list is wrong then, because I guess it's based on my own experiences, which is not as deep and concrete as these guys' experiences. Because the way they're looking like Catherine is like the blank, and this character is really good. I have her ranked super low. So in a couple of days or a couple of weeks, we'll look at the PvP tier list and we'll adjust it because that makes a lot of sense to me. There's some things I don't agree with, but I understand that they don't think Gabriel's that valuable. But as a tank, I think she's really good. But I don't even think they play with too many tanks because there's only two tanks they're playing with, and these tanks are considered really good even to us. So, anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you, but it's good to start to look at the Asians and how they play because they really are the real leaders of this game as they are actually playing the game and spending more money than us. But have a good one and bye.